purpose of etching process is to highlight features of metal at microscopic levels by etch the sample in the inkjet chemical, such as nitrile. So the inkjet chemical will reveal the steel microstructure. The heat treatment procedures for steel is first annealing. Firstly, we heat the steel to a specific temperature. Then we hold or soaking the steel at a temperature for a specific time. Lastly, we cool this steel slowly, usually to room temperature. The final microstructure will form a corpse pearlite. The next one is normalizing. First, we must heat the steel above austenite temperature, which is at 55 Celsius to 80 Celsius. After a sufficient time, the steel will completely transform into austenite. Lastly, we remove the steel from the furnace and cool it in air at a room temperature. The final microstructure will be formed is fine pearlite. The next one is quenching. Firstly, we must heat the steel at 30 Celsius to 50 Celsius above a upper critical temperature. Then it will quench. The final microstructure will form a martensite. Last but not least, tempering. The procedures is, first, we must immediately after quenching, the steel is heated at 250 Celsius to 650 Celsius. Then, held the steel at that temperature for about 2 hours. Lastly, remove the steel from the bath and cool it in air, which is at room temperature. So the final microstructure will form a tempered martensite. The characteristic of martensite microstructure is the microstructure is became harder than fine pearlite, and the martensite needle will be produced. It also became brittle. So, the conclusion is, all of the following steps is proved to be effective for metallographic samples for microstructural observation. Next, the microstructure of the steel become more tough and strong because of the heat treatment that applied to the steel. Last but not least, by the help of inkjet chemical and metallurgy microscope, the microstructure of ferrite, pearlite, cementite, austenite, and martensite of the steel can be observed under a microscopic view. That's all for me. Thank you.